الحمد لله رب العالمين، وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد نبيه وآله وسلم تسليما. اللهم لك الحمد على ما جرى به قضاؤك في أوليائك الذين استخلصتهم لنفسك ودينك، إذ اخترت لهم جزيل ما عندك من النعيم المقيم الذي لا زوال له ولا اضمحلال، بعد أن شردت عليهم الزهد في درجات هذه الدنيا الدنية وزخرفها وزبرجها، فشرطوا لك ذلك وعلمت منهم الوفاء به، فقبلتهم وقربتهم وقدمت لهم الذكر العلي والثناء الجلي، وأهبطت عليهم ملائكتك وكرمتهم بوحيك، ورفدتهم بعلمك وجعلتهم الذريعة إليك والوسيلة إلى رضوانك، فبعض أسكنته جنتك إلى أن أخرجته منها، وبعض حملته في فلكك ونجيته ومن آمن معه من الهلكة برحمتك، وبعض اتخذته لنفسك خليلا وسالك لسان صدق في الآخرين فأجبته وجعلت ذلك عليا، وبعض كلمته من شجرة تكليما، وجعلت له من أخيه ردءا ووزيرا، وبعض أولدته من غير أب وآتيته البينات وأيدته بروح القدس، وكل شرعت له شريعة ونهجت له منهاجا وتخيرت له أوصياء، مستحفظا بعد مستحفظ من مدة إلى مدة إقامة لدينك وحجة على عبادك، ولئلا يزول الحق عن مقره ويغلب الباطل على أهله، ولا يقول أحد لولا أرسلت إلينا رسولا منذرا، وأقمت لنا علما هاديا فنتبع آياتك من قبل أن نذل ونخزى، إلى أن انتهيت بالأمر إلى حبيبك ونجيبك محمد صلى الله عليه وآله، فكان كمن تجبته سيد من خلقته وصفوة من اصطفيته وأفضل من اجتبيته وأكرم من اعتمدته، قدمته على أنبيائك وبعثته إلى الثقلين من عبادك، وأوطيته مشارقك ومغاربك، وسخرت له البراق وعرجت بروحه إلى سمائك، وأودعته علم ما كان وما يكون إلى انقضاء خلقك، ثم نصرته بالرعب وحففته بجبرائيل وميكائيل والمسومين من ملائكتك، ووعدته أن تظهر دينه على الدين كله ولو كره المشركون، وذلك بعد أن بوأته مبوأ صدق من أهله، وجعلت له ولهم أول بيت وضع للناس للذي ببكة مباركا وهدى للعالمين، فيه آيات بينات مقام إبراهيم ومن دخله كان آمنا. وقلت إنما يريد الله ليذهب عنكم الرجس أهل البيت ويطهركم تطهيرا. ثم جعلت أجر محمد صلواتك عليه وآله مودتهم في كتابك، فقلت: قل لا أسألكم عليه أجرا إلا المودة في القربى. وقلت: ما سألتكم من أجر فهو لكم. وقلت: ما أسألكم عليه من أجر إلا من شاء أن يتخذ إلى ربه سبيلا، فكانوا هم السبيل إليك والمسلك إلى رضوانك. فلما انقضت أيامه أقام وليه علي بن أبي طالب صلواتك عليهما وآلهما هاديا، إذ كان هو المنذر ولكل قوم هاد. فقال والملأ أمامه: من كنت مولاه فعلي مولاه، اللهم وال من والاه وعاد من عاداه وانصر من نصره واخذل من خذله. وقال من كنت أنا نبيه فعلي أمير. وقال أنا وعلي من شجرة واحدة وسائر الناس من شجر شتى. وأحله محل هارون من موسى، فقال له: أنت مني بمنزلة هارون من موسى، إلا أنه لا نبي بعدي. وزوجه ابنته سيدة نساء العالمين، وأحل له من مسجده ما حل له، وسد الأبواب إلا بابه، ثم أودعه علما وحكمته، فقال: أنا مدينة العلم وعلي بابها، فمن أراد المدينة والحكمة فليأتها من بابها. ثم قال: أنت أخي ووصيي ووارثي، لحمك من لحمي ودمك من دمي، وسلمك سلمي وحربك حربي، والإيمان مخالط لحمك ودمك كما خالط لحمي ودمي. وأنت غدا على الحوض خليفتي، وأنت تقضي ديني وتنجز عداتي، وشيعتك على منابر من نور، مبيضة وجوههم حولي في الجنة وهم جيراني. ولولا أنت يا علي لم يعرف المؤمنون بعدي، وكان بعده هدى من الضلال ونورا من العمى، وحبل الله المتين وصراطه المستقيم، لا يسبق بقرابة في رحم ولا بسابقة في دين، ولا يلحق في منقبة من مناقبه يحذو حذو الرسول صلى الله عليهما وآلهما، ويقاتل على التأويل ولا تأخذه في الله لومة لائم. قد وتر فيه صناديد العرب وقتل أبطالهم وناوش ذؤبانهم، فأودع قلوبهم أحقادا بدرية وخيبرية وحنينية وغيرهم، فأضبت على عداوته وأكبت على منابذته، حتى قتل الناكثين والقاسطين والمارقين. ولما قضى نحبه وقتله وأشقى الآخرين يتبع أشقى الأولين، لم يمتثل أمر رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله في الهادين بعد الهادين، والأمة مصرة على مقته مجتمعة على قطيعة رحمه وإقصاء ولده، إلا القليل ممن وفى لرعاية الحق فيهم، فقتل من قتل وسبي من سبي وأقصي من أقصي، وجرى القضاء لهم بما يرجى له حسن المثوبة. إذ كانت الأرض لله يورثها من يشاء من عباده والعاقبة للمتقين، وسبحان ربنا إن كان وعد ربنا لمفعولا، ولن يخلف الله وعده وهو العزيز الحكيم. فعلى الأطائب من أهل بيت محمد وعلي صلى الله عليهما وآلهما فليبكي الباكون، وإياهم فليندب النادبون، ولمثلهم فلتذرف الدموع وليصرخ الصارخون، ويضج الضاجون ويعج العاجون. أين الحسن أين الحسين؟ أين أبناء الحسين؟ صالح بعد صالح وصادق بعد صادق. أين السبيل بعد السبيل؟ أين الخيرة بعد الخيرة؟ أين الشموس الطالعة؟ أين الأقمار المنيرة؟ أين الأنجم الزاهرة؟ أين أعلام الدين وقواعد العلم؟ أين بقية الله التي لا تخلو من العترة الهادية؟ أين المعد لقطع دابر الظلمة؟ أين المنتظر لإقامة الأمت والعواج؟ أين المرتجى لإزالة الجور والعدوان؟ أين المدخر لتجديد الفرائض والسنن؟ أين المتخير لإعادة الملة والشريعة؟ أين المؤمل لإحياء الكتاب وحدوده؟ أين محيي معالم الدين وأهله؟ أين قاصم شوكة المعتدين؟ أين هادم أبنية الشرك والنفاق؟ أين مبيد أهل الفسوق والعصيان والطغيان؟ أين حاصد فروع الغي والشقاق؟ أين طامس آثار الزيغ والأهواء؟ أين قاطع حبائل الكذب والافتراء؟ أين مبيد العتاة والمردة؟ أين مستأصل أهل العناد والتضليل والإلحاد؟ أين معز الأولياء ومذل الأعداء؟ أين جامع الكلمة على التقوى؟ أين باب الله الذي منه يؤتى؟ أين وجه الله الذي إليه يتوجه الأولياء؟ أين السبب المتصل بين الأرض والسماء؟ أين صاحب يوم الفتح وناشر راية الهدى؟ أين مؤلف شمل الصلاح والرضا؟ أين الطالب بذحول الأنبياء وأبناء الأنبياء؟ أين الطالب بدم المقتول بكربلاء؟ أين المنصور على من اعتدى عليه وافترى؟ أين المضطر الذي يجاب إذا دعا؟ أين صدر الخلائق ذو البر والتقوى؟ أين ابن النبي المصطفى وابن علي المرتضى وابن خديجة الغراء وابن فاطمة الكبرى؟ بأبي أنت وأمي ونفسي لك الوقاء والحمى. يا ابن السادة المقربين، يا ابن النجباء الأكرمين، يا ابن الهداة المهديين، يا ابن الخيرة المهذبين، يا ابن الغطارفة الأنجبين، يا ابن الأطائب المطهرين، يا ابن الخضارمة المنتجبين، يا ابن القماقمة الأكرمين، يا ابن البدور المنيرة، يا ابن السرج المضيئة، يا ابن الشهب الثاقبة، يا ابن الأنجم الزاهرة، يا ابن السبل الواضحة، يا ابن الأعلام اللائحة، يا ابن العلوم الكاملة، يا ابن السنن المشهورة، يا ابن المعالم الماثورة، يا ابن المعجزات الموجودة، يا ابن الدلائل المشهودة، يا ابن الصراط المستقيم، يا ابن النبأ العظيم، يا ابن من هو في أم الكتاب لدى الله علي حكيم، يا ابن العطاء، يا ابن الآيات والبينات، يا ابن الدلائل الظاهرات، يا ابن البراهين الواضحات الباهرات، يا ابن الحجج البالغات، يا ابن النعم السابغات، يا ابن طه والمحكمات، يا ابن ياسين والذاريات يا ابن الطور والعاديات يا ابن من دنا فتدلى فكان قاب قوسين أو أدنى دنوا واقترابا من العلي الأعلى. ليت شعري أين استقرت بك النوى، بل أي أرض تقلك أو ثراء برضوى أو غيرها أمدي طوى. عزيز علي أن أرى الخلق ولا ترى ولا أسمع لك حسيسا ولا نجوى. عزيز علي أن تحيط بك دوني البلوى ولا ينالك مني ضجيج ولا شكوى. بنفسي أنت من مغيب لم يخل منا، بنفسي أنت من نازح ما نزح عنا. بنفسي أنت أمنية شائق يتمنى من مؤمن ومؤمنة ذكرا فحنا. بنفسي أنت من عقيد عز لا يسامى. بنفسي أنت من أثيل مجد لا يجارى. بنفسي أنت من تلاد نعم لا تضاهى. بنفسي أنت من نصيف شرف لا يساوى. إلى متى أحار فيك يا مولاي، وإلى متى وأي خطاب نصف فيك وأي نجوى. عزيز علي أن أجاب دونك وأناغى. عزيز علي أن أبكيك ويخذلك الورى. عزيز علي أن يجري عليك دونهم ما جرى. هل من معين فأطيل معه العويل والبكاء؟ هل من جزوع فأساعد جزعه إذا خلا؟ هل قذيت عين فساعدتها عيني على القذى؟ هل إليك يا ابن أحمد سبيل فتلقى؟ هل يتصل يومنا منك بعدة فنحظى؟ متى نرد مناهلك الروية فنروى؟ متى ننتفع من عذب مائك فقد طال الصدى؟ متى نغاديك ونراوحك فنقر عينا؟ متى ترانا ونراك وقد نشرت لواء النصر ترى؟ أترانا نحف بك وأنت تؤم الملا وقد ملأت الأرض عدلا وأذقت أعداءك هوانا وعقابا؟ وأبرت العتاة وجحدة الحق وقطعت دابر المتكبرين واجتثت أصول الظالمين، ونحن نقول الحمد لله رب العالمين. اللهم أنت كشاف الكرب والبلوى، وإليك أستعدي فعندك العدوى، وأنت رب الآخرة والدنيا. فأغث يا غياث المستغيثين عبيدك المبتلى، وأره سيده يا شديد القوى، وأزل عنه به الأسى والجوى، وبرد غليله يا من على العرش استوى، ومن إليه الرجعى والمنتهى. اللهم ونحن عبيدك التائقون إلى وليك المذكر بك وبنبيك، خلقته لنا عصمة وملاذا، وأقمته لنا قواما ومعاذا، وجعلته للمؤمنين منا إماما، فبلغه منا تحية وسلاما، وزدنا بذلك يا ربي إكراما، واجعل مستقره لنا مستقرا ومقاما، وأتمم نعمتك بتقديمك إياه أمامنا، حتى توردنا جنانك ومرافقة الشهداء من خلصائك. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد، وصل على محمد جده ورسولك السيد الأكبر، وعلى أبيه السيد الأصغر وجدته الصديقة الكبرى فاطمة بنت محمد، وعلى من اصطفيت من آبائه البررة، وعليه أفضل وأكمل وأتم وأدوم وأكثر وأوفر ما صليت على أحد من أصفيائك وخيرتك من خلقك، وصل عليه صلاة لا غاية لعددها ولا نهاية لمددها ولا نفاد لأمدها. اللهم واقم به الحق وادحض به الباطل، وأدل به أولياءك واذلل به أعداءك، وصل اللهم بيننا وبينه وصلة تؤدي إلى مرافقة سلفه، واجعلنا ممن يأخذ بحجزتهم ويمكث في ظلهم، وأعنا على تأدية حقوقه إليه والاجتهاد في طاعته واجتناب معصيته، وامنن علينا برضاه، وهب لنا رأفته ورحمته ودعاءه وخيره، ما ننال به سعة من رحمتك وفوزا عندك، واجعل صلاتنا به مقبولة وذنوبنا به مغفورة، ودعاءنا به مستجابا، واجعل أرزاقنا به مبسوطة وهمومنا به مكفية، وحوائجنا به مقضية، وأقبل إلينا بوجهك الكريم، واقبل تقربنا إليك، وانظر إلينا نظرة رحيمة نستكمل بها الكرامة عندك، ثم لا تصرفها عنا بجودك، واسقنا من حوض جده صلى الله عليه وآله بكأسه وبيده ريان رويا هنيئا سائغا لا ظمأ بعده يا أرحم الراحمين. وإلى وجه الله وشرف النبي والأئمة الطاهرين، وإلى موتانا أجمعين وموتى المؤمنين. رحم الله من قرأ الفاتحة مسبوقة بالصلاة على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Can I start getting everyone to make their way into the Farsh Azad so that we can begin our program, please? Jazakallah khair. Hope everyone's doing well. My name is Hamza and I am going to be our MC for tonight. As you all know, we are inshallah hosting Brother Asad Jafri for a series of 5 lectures tonight, and inshallah when he's here I'll give a bit more of an introduction regarding him and his lecture series. However, for now, I'd like to start off with a quote of Imam Hassan alayhi salatu wassalam. Please recite loud salawat. Imam Hassan was asked, "What is manliness?" And the Imam replied by saying, "Holding on to the faith, keeping one's self-respect, being merciful, being kind, giving back people's trusts, and ingratiating oneself to the people. Now for a bit of a schedule for tonight's lecture series. We're going to start off with a Quran recitation by Brother Wasi. This is going to be followed by a Salam recitation by Brother Isa, after which Brother Mehdi Raza Kazmi will be conducting his Marsiya recitation, and after that we'll be having the lecture by Maulana Sayyid Asad Jafri. After this, we're going to have Noha Khani, and roughly around 20 minutes after that, there's going to be a question and answer session led by Maulana Sayyid Asad Jafri. So I'd like to start off tonight's program by the Quran recitation of Brother Wasi. If you can come forward and recite the Quran. Please recite aloud salawat for the brother, Brother Muhammad wa alihi wa sallam.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد صدق الله العلي العظيم صلوات.
Jazakallah khair, Brother Wasi. Please recite aloud salawat for the health and prosperity of the brother. Before inviting our next reciter, I would like to share a quote by Imam Hassan alayhi salam. The Imam was asked regarding glory, what is glory? And he replied by saying, giving while being in debt and forgiving others their offenses. Now, to proceed with our evening, I'd like to call upon Brother Isa for the recitation of his salam. Please recite aloud salawat for the brother.
بآواز بلند تر صلوات. میری سکینہ کو نیند آ رہی ہے، میری سکینہ کو نیند آ رہی ہے، بانو یہ عابد کو بتلا رہی ہے، میری سکینہ کو نیند آ رہی ہے، کہہ دو ہواؤں سے آہستہ آئیں، کہہ دو پرندوں سے غل نہ مچائیں، کہہ دو اندھیروں سے واپس نہ جائیں، کہہ دو اندھیروں سے واپس نہ جائیں، جاگی ہوئی چین کچھ پا رہی ہے، میری سکینہ کو نیند آ رہی ہے، شاید رسن کی اذیت ہوئی کم، ماتم کرو بیویوں شور ماتم، سجاد زنجیر بولے نہ اس دم، سجاد زنجیر بولے نہ اس دم، شاید غموں کی گھڑی جا رہی ہے، میری سکینہ کو نیند آ رہی ہے۔ یہ شام غریبا کی جاگی ہوئی ہے، تماچوں کے ڈر سے نہیں سو سکی ہے، ذرا پھر گلے سے رسن جو کھلی ہے، ذرا پھر گلے سے رسن جو کھلی ہے، سکون سے جو اب سانس لے پا رہی ہے، میری سکینہ کو نیند آ رہی ہے۔ میں خوش ہوں کہ سوئے گی میری دلاری، میں قربان سے کہ میں اب اس کی واری، بہت سہ چکی دوخ یہ غازی کی پیاری، بہت سہ چکی دوخ یہ غازی کی پیاری، مگر نبض کچھ اور بتلا رہی ہے، میری سکینہ کو نیند آ رہی ہے۔ مگر یہ ہوا کیا کہ زندان رویا، بدن روح کے ساتھ بچی کا سویا، نہ جاگی وہ عابد نشانہ ہلایا، نہ جاگی وہ عابد نشانہ ہلایا، اور اب ماج کہتے بھی شرما رہی ہے، میری سکینہ کو نیند آ رہی ہے، بانو یہ عابد کو بتلا رہی ہے، میری سکینہ کو نیند آ رہی ہے، میری سکینہ کو نیند آ رہی ہے۔ صلوات
Jazakallah khair, Brother Isa, for that beautiful recitation. Please recite another loud salawat for the health and prosperity, Brother Isa. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wajil farajah. Before moving on, I would like to share a quote by Imam Sajjad alayhi salatu wassalam. The Imam is quoted to having said, "If people realize the value of science and knowledge, they will sacrifice themselves for earning it." Now I'd like to call on Brother Mahdi Raza Kazmi for his Marcia citation. Please recite a loud salawat for the brother. Muhammad wa ali Muhammad salawat.
اللهم صل بہت مختصراً ایک رباعی اور مرثیے کے چند بند بابا بلند صلوات پڑھ دیں. جب نام علی منہ سے نکل جاتا ہے، جب نام علی منہ سے نکل جاتا ہے، گر کو ہے مصیبت ہو تو ٹل جاتا ہے. کیا نام ہے اس نام پہ صدقے ہو دبیر، گرتا ہوا انسان سنبھل جاتا ہے، جب نام علی منہ صلوات. فاتحہ بروح الشہداء. بسم اللہ الرحمن الرحیم. مصیبت وطن میں آتے ہیں، مسافران مصیبت وطن میں آتے ہیں، سفر سے آتے ہیں سوغات لاتے، بجائے اشک وہ آنکھوں سے خون بہاتے، اٹھا کے ہاتھ مدینے کو یہ سناتے، لٹا کے آئے ہیں زہرا کے ہم گھرانے کو، نہ کر قبول تو ہم دے قصوں کے آنے کو، مدینے یاد تو ہوگا تجھے وہ جاؤ حشر گئے تھے کیسے تجمع سے کربلا کو، وہ خیمہ اور وہ شبیر اور وہ فوج اللہ اور آپ سیاہ کفنیا حسین کا ماتم، اور آپ سیاہ کفنیا حسین کا ماتم، پسند آمد ذریت رسول نہ کر مدینے ایسے حقیروں کو تو قبول نہ، مدینے ہم تیرے والی کو آئے ہیں کھو کر، مدینے گردن شبیر پر چلا خنجر، مدینے کوفے میں سرنانگے ہم پھرے درد، مدینے داغ رسن ہے ہمارے شانوں، نہ راہ دے ہمیں زہرا کا نور ہے نہیں مدینے اکبر و قاسم نہیں حسین نہیں اجاڑ ماریا میں ہو گیا چمن میرا بچھاڑ گیا علی اکبر سا گل بدن میرا ہوا شہید ہر ایک شیر صف شکن میرا پڑا ہے بھائی بیاباں میں بے کفن میں نبی کی آل کو اہل جفا نے لوٹ لیا ہمارے کنبے کو رن میں قضا نے لوٹ لیا ہلی زمین مدینے کی اس گھڑی پہ ہاں کیا بشیر کو سجاد نے طلب جدہ گلے میں شال عزا ڈال دی بدیدہ نا اور اس کے ہاتھ میں رو کر دیا سیاہ الگ کہا کہ جا نہیں گو اپنے منہ دکھانے مگر وطن میں خبر کر میرے آنے چلا بشیر یہ دیتا ہوا خبر ہر جگہ مگر محلہ حاشے میں دیکھتا ہے کیا کہ ایک مریضہ سرے راہ ہے کھڑی تن جو نام پوچھا تو رو رو کے بول وہ صغر بشیر کہنے لگا کیوں تو شور و شین میں کہا یہ حال میرا فرقت حسین کھڑے ہوں منتظر اکبر کہ دیکھوں کب آئے میں گھر سے نکلی ہوں شاید کہ قاصد آ جائے خدا کہیں میرے بچھڑوں کو خیر سے لائے کہ یہ مریضہ لبے گور ہے شفا پائے کوئی پدر سے خبر لائے پاؤں پڑتی ہوں جدا مسیح سے ہوئے ڈیاں رگڑتی بشیر سمجھا یہ بنتے حسین ہے صغرا خاموش رہ گیا صغرا کہ منہ پہ کچھ نہ کہا پکاری فاطمہ گردان میں دے شال از تو بھائی لایا ہے کس کی سنا مجھ کو سنا وہ بولا قاصد بیمار کربلا میں سنانی قبر پیمبر پہ لے چلا وہ بولی رو کے وے بھائی یہ کیا سناتا وہ کون ہے جسے بیمار تو بتاتا سنانی کس کی ہے یہ منہ کو ہول آتا کہ مصطفیٰ کی لہد پہ تو کہنے جا امامہ پھینکے اس نے کہا دعائی ہے تیرے حسین کی صغرا سنانی آئی تیرے حسین کی صغرا سنانی آئی زمین پہ हाय पदर के कि गिर पड़ी सुगर, खबर ये फैली तो माता हर एक घर में हुआ, तमाम औरतें निकली घरों से करती भूखा, नबी की कब्र पे जाकर बशीर ने ये कहा, सफर से लुट के इधर भूखी प्यासियां आई, उठो रसूल तुम्हारी नवासियां आई। बशीर कहता है वल्लाह हर रोजा कांप गए, लहर से नाला हुआ वा हुसैन का पैर, इधर जमी पे तड़पती थी फातिमा सुग़र, ज़नाने हाशमिया ने वहाँ हुजूम की, हिला के शाना कहा शाह मशरक़ नाए, उठो हुसैन की आशिक़, उठो हुसैन आए, मुसाफिरान मुसीबत।
Jazakallah khair, brother, for the beautiful recitation. Please recite another loud salawat for the health and prosperity of the brother. Muhammad wa ali Muhammad salawat. Salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. As you all already may know, we tonight and for the next 4 nights are having the honor of hosting our respected Qibla Maulana Sayyid Asad Jafri. Maulana Sayyid Asad Jafri is already very well known within our community, but for those that aren't aware, Maulana hails from the Greater Toronto area, and that's where he was raised and has been lecturing over the years. Many communities within the Greater Toronto area and communities elsewhere as well have greatly benefited from his knowledge and wisdom. Maulana currently resides in the city of Qum in Iran, and we are very grateful to Maulana for taking out time from his busy schedule to benefit our community, and inshallah we'll make the most of his presence. Few reminders before we progress on with the program. There is a question and answer session shortly after the Noha Khani, I believe roughly 15-20 minutes after. It will be led by Qibla, and Majalis will continue as sequenced. Tomorrow's Majlis will have a tabut as well, so everyone is requested to attend. And on Sunday at Sheraton Calgary Hotel in the Northeast, we we have been over the years are commemorating Yawm Hussain Day, for which once again everyone is requested to attend. Before we move on with our lecture series that Maulana will conduct on dualism. Obviously, he can explain better than I can, but this is basically a Western philosophy that we will go into, and it basically holds into account that good and evil forces are inherent in this world and of relatively equal forces. Maulana will discuss this in more detail, inshallah. Before we move on, I'd like to quote to you an extract from Imam Zainul Abidin alayhi salatu wassalam. From his Monday dua, in which he says, tongues fall silent before the limit of describing him. Intellects fail before the core of knowing him. Tyrants feel low in awe of him. Faces are humbled in fear of him. Now, before further ado, I'd like to welcome Qibla with a loud salawat.
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Ya Rasul Allah.
فاتحة. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله الذي لا يبلغ مدحته القائلون ولا يحصي نعماؤه العادون ولا يؤدي حقه المجتهدون، الذي لا يدركه بعد الحمم ولا يناله غوص الفطن، ثم الصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين، حبيب قلوبنا وطبيب نفوسنا وشفيع ذنوبنا، سيدنا ومولانا أبي القاسم محمد. وعلى بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المظلومين، لا سيما بقية الله في الأرضين، صاحب العصر والزمان، خليفة الرحمن إمام الإنس والجان، ولعن الله أعداهم أجمعين إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد، فقد قال الله وقوله الحق. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وإذا سويته ونفخت فيه من روحي فقعوا له ساجدين. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. We thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the continued tawfiq to gather like this and to commemorate Imam Hussein's shahadat and the sacrifice and the journey and the heroism of his family and his companions. It is an honor for me to be here in Calgary at Hussaini with all of you, alhamdulillah, and I'm thankful to the board and the members and trustees for allowing this jahil to spend these next 5 nights with all of you. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless all of you, accept your amal, give you no gham and no grief besides the grief of Ali Muhammad. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. I will get to my topic in a moment, and before that, however, there's, mashallah, so many kids here today and youth here today. So nice to see all of you, alhamdulillah. I wanted to remind you of a few things, if it's okay with my elders. As was announced, I was born and raised in Toronto in a very vibrant community. If you've been in Toronto, you know it's a very massive Islamic community. And growing up in a typical immigrant family, my parents are from Karachi, Pakistan. I myself was born in Toronto. And so the idea of Azadari was my first gateway into Islam. Besides the madrasa was 1, 2, 3 hours a week, but really it was Azadari that kind of introduced this deen to me. Now back then, when I say back then, I mean in the 90s maybe, it was simpler. I was in Winnipeg in the first weekend of Safar, and there was a youth there, older general, I guess, an old gentleman, a little bit younger than me. He asked me, from the moment time that you grew up in Toronto to now, what is the difference in the Azadari that you see? And I said that things were simpler back then for us. We didn't question everything. Everything was accepted. We would come in, we would sit, and we would sit through a very difficult Urdu majlis, with very high level Urdu, for example, and do your best to kind of make your way through that majlis. And one day it was 1%, next day is 5%. Then eventually you get to understand the entire majlis in Urdu. And then when it came time for matam, we all rushed to the front and we all lined up and we did our matam and everything was good. We would go from house to house to house. We enjoyed the Barak. We wouldn't question what the Barak was, what Niyaz was. There was Hazri and 8th Muharram, and there was Kunde, and there was Faqa Shikniya on the day of Ashura, and everything was good. It was just normalized. Now, when I go to different communities, I see these young, beautiful minds ask me every single question. From the Marsiya to the Masaib to the Matam to the Niyaz to the Ziyarat to everything, where is this in the deen, they ask. Because they think for a moment, a lot of your kids think for a moment, this entire system of Azadari, the way that we do a majalis of Imam Hussain, is something that's an Indo-Pak tradition. They even go so far to say a lot of what we do we have gained from Hindu rasam and Hindu culture. And I want to first of all identify that, because there are a lot of kids here. They won't ask you, the adults. They will, if they have himmat, they'll come and ask me. Otherwise, they have these questions inside their head. And it ends up being a ritual, ends up being an annual tradition. They don't quite understand that every aspect of our majlis today comes from the seerah of Ali Muhammad. We start off with the beautiful Marsiya of Mahdi Bhai just now. The Marsiya itself, Marthiya is actually an Arabic word. You know, he started off with a rubai, the Fadal of Amir al-Mu'mineen, and then he got into the Marsiya. He skipped his salam because of time. Otherwise, there's a whole system of salam. Even that system itself of first Fazal and then Masaib is from the Ahlul Bayt. From the moment of our 4th Imam all the way down, even to our 12th Imam today, one rasam or one sunnat or one seerah that was there from the beginning. And I really want my youth to understand this very carefully. Because when you start to think that all of this comes from Hindu rasams, then you don't ultimately dive in and invest into Azadari. And Azadari is our lifeline. It's our bloodline. It's our pride. It's our identity. Without it, I don't know where we'd be. With it, we're everything. Right? And so if you start to believe that it doesn't have any deen of the backing, then you won't come to the Farshi of Abu Abdullah Hussain. So this Marthiya idea was what? The idea that the Imams would actually now ask the poets of their time to come and write a few couplets of poetry about their Jad Hussain and recite that in front of everybody else. So they would begin. And halfway through the Shahidi or the Marsiya, the Imam would stop the Marsiya Khan and say, no, that's not how I want you to recite. I want you to recite like the Mayyat of my Jad was lying in front of you. To have this, this fazal, this environment of gham. Riqat, as you call it in Urdu. This idea that, people are crying now. And the sole purpose of that was to never allow the tears of Imam Hussain to dry up. You look at Imam Sajjad, alayhi salatu wasalam, Allahumma salli ala. No, I need a better salawat than that, please, inshallah. Please, thank you. If I get to my topic tonight, I get to my topic tonight. Otherwise, this discussion is extremely important. Because this really, now we are, saying our farewell, al-Wida to Ayam Azah. Arba'in is over now. It's a matter of a few weeks left. Right? And so our 4th Imam was obsessed with two things. Number one was to ensure that everybody knew the falsafa of his father, why he went to Karbala. And second thing was that he ensured the tears, the physical tears, would never dry up. 33 years after the day of Ashura, he lived. Even to the point where his ashab would question him, "Ke Mawla, kab tak roenge? How long will you cry?" Right? There's reasons behind that. It's not my topic. I don't want to go down a path that I can't come back from. But it is important that all of you understand, especially my youth. Because nowadays what's happening is that they come for the speech. The moment Matam starts, they exit the hall. Right? And there's reasons for that, right? I mean, partly because they haven't truly cried for Imam Hussain. They haven't. Even sometimes when these communities invite English speakers, like they invite me all the time, every community and Riaz Bhai has yet to ask me, but he will soon, to recite Masaib in Urdu. Fadal in English, but Masaib in Urdu. Because, Masaib should only be read in Urdu. And I never say yes, and there's reasons for that. Number one, I don't have that control of Urdu. Number two is that these kids are deprived of crying for Imam Hussain. When you don't cry for Imam Hussain, you won't slap your chest for Imam Hussain. You don't see your need for it. And so I have every year, wherever I go, I have the same debate of every single year. Why do we cry for Imam Hussain? Why don't we talk about the academics of Hussain? Why he did what he did. On Shab-e Ashur, Maulana, he worshipped Allah to the point where the buzzing of the bees, Sheikh Abbas Qumi narrates. That was to the point of the worship. Why do we hop from this idara to that idara, this azakhana, that azakhana, one noha here, two nohas here, this house, that house? Why do we do that? Why don't we worship Allah all night, have our own Shab-e Qadr, for example, and Shab-e Ashur, the way that Imam Hussain did? These are dangerous, they're important questions, but they're dangerous questions. They come from a very dangerous base, but they have to be answered. Every year I get asked about matam. What is matam? How can I explain to my Sunni friend what matam is? How can I explain to myself what matam is? Is it not barbaric, Maulana? Is it not extreme, Maulana? These are questions that have to be answered. I want to answer a few of them tonight, and then we'll move on to our topic, inshallah. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. So after the Marsiya, we have what? We have a speech. We have Fadail for 45 minutes, and we have Masaib. Precisely what Imam Sajjad and Bibi Zainab did. They first talk about why Imam Hussain did what he did, and then ensure that there is some grief and gham afterwards. And then right after that is matam. Now matam is a huge topic amongst our youth today. They don't understand it, a lot of them, they don't get it. Maybe all of you do, I don't know. Where I'm coming from, my various travels across Ayam Azad this year, a lot of them, east and west, now I've been everywhere this Muharram, a lot of it is the idea that what is this matam? Let me explain to you very briefly what matam is. Matam, to simplify things, let's keep it simple, right? Matam is nothing but organized grief. Number one. Sometimes emotions are organic, sometimes they're organized. For example, happiness, khushi. Sometimes you are organically happy, sometimes there are actual mahfil and gatherings that are created to create happiness. For example, you get a call, for example, I don't know, from someone, let's say a friend of yours said, you know what, I'm engaged to get married. Okay? You're ecstatic, you're happy. That happiness is what? Is organic. Then there is the actual wedding that happens. So wedding is planned for a month in advance. There's decorations, and the hall is decorated, and there's mashallah buffet, an MC program, some jokes, and all of it was organized to make you happy. Grief is no different. Grief is the exact same way. Sometimes grief is organic, sometimes grief is organized. Sometimes it's to the point where, God forbid, we hear about a young 25-year-old dying or leaving this world in a car accident, and we're shook, we're taken back, we're in shock, we're in grief. That grief is organic. And sometimes you actually prepare the grounds for grief. So you drape the walls in black, you drape yourself in black. You ensure that those moments that are heart-wrenching are remembered on the mic. All in an instance to what? To organize that grief. And matam is your organization of grief, number one. Number two, now why slap our chest? Why slap our chest? First of all, let me mention this one thing. And again, I'm sorry to my elders. This is all stuff that you already know, mashallah. But sometimes I think we take it for granted. We assume that that's been transferred to our kids. And it hasn't, I'm sorry. It hasn't. There's a disconnect. And partly because all of you grew up in your respective India, Pakistan, wherever you're from, or Kashmir, wherever you're from, but these kids are brought up here. Okay? And these things are not addressed sometimes from the member. Right? So it might be simple for my elders, I apologize, but for my kids, I think these are things that are pain points to them. Now, slapping your chest during grief is a very natural reaction. Imagine, if you will, that a mother, God forbid now, approaches the grave of her young son for the first time. So the grave is fresh. There's dirt laid, maybe some roses, maybe some water. If you look at anybody, a Lebanese mother, an Iraqi mother, a Pakistani woman, a Kashmiri mother, an Indian mother, an Arab mother, whatever the case may be, she might do one of two things. Either she might pick the khak up on her head and slap her head, or she might sit there and beat her chest. Okay? So what we do is, yes, we line up and we organize the grief. The poetry is recited to retell the gham of Karbala, and we slap our chest. As a symbol that if we were there on the day of Ashura, we would have reacted the exact same way in front of Imam Hussein's mayyat. They have questions about tabut. It's a wooden box, they say, draped in white, with red chinte on it. I don't have an English word. This is for chinte, I'm sorry. Chinte has its own Urdu word. If you don't know what chinte are, you can Google it or ask your parents. But chinte is a perfect word for that. I can't say sprinkle, it has a horrible meaning. Chinte is perfect. And it's red. And there's a little amama sometimes, or maybe tomorrow's tabut, you might have some arrows in it, I don't know. And all of it is, what is this? And we carried around this and that. When somebody general, random passes away in our community, I don't know what happens here, but in Toronto, we carry the coffin from the center into the loading van, then from the van into the grave. Why? Shoulder to shoulder to shoulder. The coffin actually travels on shoulders. And we line up in parallel lines to make sure that we collectively bury this member of our community. It's a beautiful thing that we do. This is for someone who's random in our community. Would we not have done that for Imam Hussein? If he had an actual burial, if our Mawla had an actual burial on the day of Ashura, and we were there, we would carry his coffin. We would carry the coffin of Ali Akbar, of Awna Muhammad, of Qasim, of Imam Hassan tomorrow, if we were there. So this is an announcement to the actual Imam that, Mawla, if I was mawjood there on the day that you passed away, I would do shirkat in your mayyat as well. But because I wasn't there on that day, I am here. I'm taking this tabut around as a symbolism of my love for you. That's all it is. Let's keep it simple. Right? Let's not look for something that's interior and philosophical and it's a bad image and blah, 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 and this and that. Let's not always worry about, what others might think of matam and tabut. I'm sorry, sometimes what happens in your home is for your home. Others may not understand. You enter someone's house for the first time, you wonder why this person does that, and why look, Baba, it's my house. What I do in my house is up to me. You can either understand or not, it's up to you. I'm not going to change my entire house so you might accept me. These are things that are our identity. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Now, one more thing I want to share then my topic. Faqa Shikni. For the longest time, I never understood what Faqa Shikni was. Faqa Shikni for my youth is that moment on the day of Ashura that we don't eat or drink until about Asri Ashur, or an hour after. 3 or 4 o'clock, then we have, a very simple meal to break our half fast. We don't fast on the day, it's Makuda fast, obviously. We don't do a complete fast. Where does this come from? Ironically, this year, I came across a hadith by Imam Ja'far Sadiq, alayhi salatu wasalam. Where he literally says for us to have the niyat of fasting on the day of Ashura, but a half fast. And he actually tells us to open your fast an hour after Asr. From who? From our 6th Imam. So this idea of us not eating or drinking, again, is an announcement to Imam Hussein that I'm overtaken with grief to the point I'm not worried about my meals right now. I don't feel like eating and drinking. But because I don't want to fast the entire day, the Imam's command and hukum is to open that half fast after 1 hour after Asr Ashur. My point in the beginning of this discussion is to understand this entire system of azadari that's come from all the way from 61st Hijrah up until now. There's a reason behind the fact that it has given us our confidence and why the enemy's eyes are on this system so diligently. These protests that you see in Iraq, These BBC specials you see coming out of Iraq, these articles written against the ulama in Iraq, I'm not here to comment on that, but I'm here to comment on the timing of those things. 10 days before the Arba'in walk, it's very, very peculiar how all of a sudden now, this is now coming out bit by bit. These protesters now all of a sudden don't like the government, trying to what? Trying to dissuade people from going to Iraq. And yet somehow what they never understood when it comes to us and Azadari, the more you threaten us, the bolder we become. Right? The more you say don't go, we become deed and we end up going. And we take our khandan with us. Right? Not only will I go alone, I'm going to take my entire khandan now. So they say this year was the largest Arba'in walk of all time. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. So if the enemy has identified power in this Azadari, then so should you and I. So should you and I. Don't take it for granted. We're only a few days now away from the ending of Safar. Rabi Awal has 7-8 days left of it when the official closing of Ayyam Azah is over. Now take from it as much as possible. But please, my youth out there, don't question the validity of it. It all comes from the seerah of Ali Muhammad, alayhi salatu wassalam. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Now the topic that's been on the flyer, as was announced by the brother, dualism, and he gave his intro and blurb to the topic, which wasn't my blurb or intro to the topic, but that's okay. Dualism has many different branches to it, but we won't talk about good or evil. We'll talk about body and spirit. But before that, let me give you a little bit of understanding of what dualism is. All of you with me, inshallah? Yes? The ones by the door? I like the ones by the door especially. In case this guy's speech is horrible, we can leave quietly. It's okay. That's good. You stay where you are, alhamdulillah, inshallah. Inshallah, you'll be here the entire majlis. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. The verse I read for you in the khutbah, I had the sharaf of reciting the khutbah from Surah Hijr. Conversations between Allah and Shaitan are up and down the Quran in various surahs. From Al-Araf to Hijr to other surahs as well. It's a very intriguing conversation between Shaitan and Allah. I just finished a 3-series lecture series in Al-Mahdi in Toronto on this very topic. Not dualism, but Shaitan and how he misguides us. Barriers on our path is what I called it. And in that conversation now, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving Shaitan an opportunity to explain his actions, correct? Now I won't go down that route, but what I will say before that is that what made the insan worthy of prostration, qabil sujud. If we follow the flow of the verse I read for you in the khutbah, Allah first describes that I gave the insan form. وَإِذَا سَوَيْتُهُ Sawaitu yani surah or surat as we say in Urdu is what? Physical form. Meaning I gave this insan a physical form. A body. Right after that he says وَنَفَخْتُ فِيهِ مِنْ رُوحِي. Correct? Then I blew in him from my spirit. When that happens, فَقَعُوا لَهُ سَاجِدِينَ. At that moment you are all to what? To do what? To do sajda. To prostrate. Now look at the Arabic grammar of this verse very quickly. It's a very boring discussion, but it has to happen. And how this flows. Where does Allah give the hukm for sajda? And where Shaitan's mistake was. We know in every language, they sometimes have this pairing that if this happens, then this. Okay. Like for example, in certain communities, they're very cautious about timing for the majlis. Okay. I won't mention communities because it's just not nice. I won't mention the communities, but khair. They tell me, Malana, 45 minutes. Take it 45 minutes. If it's on the 46th minutes now, the program director comes and he sits right in front of my minbar, looking at me like this. I said, oh, mashallah, he's really intrigued into the majlis, mashallah, it's nice. Where were you 46 minutes ago? And 50 minutes ago, he becomes a little bit uncomfortable, he becomes a little bit itchy and uljan and this and that, looks at my time, and next day he'll tell me, when I do this on my watch, then that means you wrap it up. Okay? Or when I do this, you have to close the lights, for example. Arabic is no different. Arabic is idha is when, and the fa sometimes before the verb means then this. Now let's follow the verse. It says, إِذَا سَوَيْتُهُ وَنَفَخْتُ فِيهِ مِنْ رُوحِي. When I made the form and I blew into the spirit, or blew into him the spirit, فَقَعُوا لَهُ سَاجِدِينَ. The fa comes when? After the blowing of the spirit. Not after the sawaytuhum. Meaning what? What made insan qabil sajda, worthy of prostration, had nothing to do with its jism and body. Had everything to do with nafakhtu fihi min ruhi. That when I blow into my spirit, then he becomes worthy of prostration. Then you are to what? Fall to sajda. So when Allah is asking shaitan, what is it? Ma manaka? Allah tasjuda idha amartuk. What is it that stopped you from doing sajda? When I'm the one that commanded you. I commanded you, not anyone else. And shaitan believed in Allah. Let me make this clear right now. The scary part is, shaitan wasn't shaitan from day number one. Right? He understood Allah to be a khaliq, understood what the day of judgment, yawma yub'athun he refers to it as. He understood the idea of khilafat, everything like you and I. 4,000 years he worshipped Allah. A lot of my youth ask me, why? Why did Allah give him muhlat and respite? If he had finished shaitan then I would have been so much easier for me. But no, he let shaitan go. The thing is, Allah had to let shaitan go. Because of shaitan's 4,000 years of worship, that reward had to go somewhere. And Allah's adalat forces Allah to now give shaitan what he deserves. Look how just Allah is. Even his arch enemy, if you deserve something, I'm going to give it to you. So Allah says, fine, your ajr, your reward of these thousands of years is your muhlat and your respite. Okay? But the moment that he was asked, now can you imagine now, Allah has given the microphone to shaitan. That shaitan now, you explain to all of us why you didn't do sajda. This is his chance, right? He has the podium, he has the mic, right? It's his AGM, it's everything. The entire universe is there in front of him. Right? Everyone's watching you now. You go ahead and you defend yourself now. He could have said anything. But he reduced the discussion now to a very, very low level. And the first thing he says is, Ana khayrun minhu. I'm better than he is. What makes you better than he is? Khalaqtani min nar wa khalaqtuhu min tin. Reduced it all the way down to a discussion on dirt, on tin. His first mistake was that he reduced the azamat and the grandeur of insan all the way down to what? وَإِذَا سَوَيْتُهُ. That form. When Allah says it was never about form. This entire bahas had nothing to do with the jism whatsoever. Had everything to do with the spirit. But shaitan says the reason why I'm better than he is was because of the form. That was a mistake he made. Now, meaning what? He doesn't understand yours and mine, my greatness. My greatness, وَلَقَدْ كَرَمْنَا بَنِي آدَمَ, the Quran says, comes from the fact that there is an element of potential for me to be the Khalifa of Allah on this earth. That's huge. Oh my God, that's huge. Imagine now, the CEO of your company leaves for 1 year on leave. Personal leave, medical leave. Okay? He won't ask the junior intern to come in and take over my job. He'll ask that individual to represent me while I'm gone, who matches his qualities to the best of his ability. Allah is saying, I want the insan to represent me and make me ma'aloom and known on this earth. That's a huge compliment for you and I. Because remember, khilafat is not just for one Adam. Khilafat is for all of humanity. You and I are the khulafa of Allah. Whether we like it or not, we are. Allah uses us to get to other individuals and other creations. Meaning what? He sees a jewel, a johar, a gem inside of us that we need to see ourselves inside of us as well sometimes. So Shaitan's first mistake was that he reduced the entire discussion to dirt. Now how is that related to our topic? This is what the problem is now. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. I'll give you an example. You'll get used to my examples. They're very simple, mundane examples. I'm a simple jahil man, I'm sorry. You're used to ulama here, and I'm sorry, Riyaz Bhai made a mistake. He had nobody else, so he said, Sabah, can you just come? I said, sure, I'll come. All of you just met me for the first time. I don't think I have any faces here that I know. Imagine now, after tonight's majlis, you come to me, salam, kya haal hai, good, how are you, alhamdulillah. And then within 3 seconds of meeting you, I give you advice. Please follow the example. And I give you advice that's really like severe. Like I ask you how many kids you have. I have 3 kids. Why don't you have 5 kids? Why 3 kids only? Oh, you know, my wife only wants 3 kids. Okay, well, she wants 3 kids. Marry somebody else. Have 2 more. Have 5. Where are you working? I'm working. No. Quit your job, apply here, do that. Do you have a house? No, we're renting. Why don't you have a house? Buy a house tomorrow. Just really weird advice. Giving you really, advice, and, eventually you'll say, look, Mulana, with all due respect, I know you wear this libas, whatever, but, you don't know who I am. You don't recognize who I am. We just met 3 seconds ago. And you're telling me not to marry a second wife? Have 2 more kids? Quit my job and apply here? Leave my house and go buy a house even though I can't do it? On the other side now, a friend of yours comes in who's your 20 years bachpan ka dost. 20 years. Knows you from childhood. The Galiyan in Karachi used to play cricket, for example. Okay? He comes in, he gives you advice. Now his advice weighs more than my advice. Why? Not because of my libas, but because he knows you better. Okay? Shaitan comes and advises us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala comes and advises us. One is an entity, an existence in shaitan who's lowered us to nothing but form and jism and dirt. One is an entity that has raised us to be the possible khalifa of his. One doesn't know me, one knows me very well. You would think that based on my logic from before that we would ignore the advice of shaitan and say labbaik to every tawfiq of Allah. Because the reality is, to my youth out there, the reality is that you are, the commanders of 2 armies. Why are we such an ajib creation? We're a very strange, a unique creation, the human being is. Because usually when you're in a battle, right? You're in a battle. You have 2 opposing forces that are battling each other, correct? They are on 2 different wavelengths, 2 different afkars, 2 different ways of thinking. And the leaders of each army are 2 different people, correct? That's how a war works. But the insan is so ajib and so unique that inside of us we have 2 opposing forces, but we're the commander of both armies. One. And the one that's victorious inside of us is the one that we give the most time and power and strength to. The example I've given before is this microphone. This microphone right now is on a certain volume setting, correct? Wherever the mic setting is, somebody goes and puts the mic on 1. 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest. 1. Now I can scream, but the people in the back now, who want to leave in about 5 minutes, They can't hear me. Or the mic is on 10, all the way to the fullest, where even if I whisper the faintest of whispers, the ones in the parking lot now can hear me. The microphone volume control of the whisperings of Allah and Shaitan are in our hands. We can pick and choose what we want. It's up to us. If we allow Shaitan's volume to be on 10, and some of us do, where Shaitan just whispers a little bit and we go running. Sometimes one ishara is enough and we go running. Or we can have it on 0 and 1. He'll be screaming at us, but there is no effect. Allah's tawfiq that He comes and whispers to us can be on 1 or can be on 10. It's up to us. But the logic dictates that because Shaitan doesn't know me, recognize me, appreciate me, I should ignore him like you'd ignore my advice, and I would go after the one who knows me better because he knows me better. But yet somehow, then why is it people like me listen to Shaitan and ignore Allah? Why is it that Imam Ali has to say that when it comes to Shaitan's waswasa, we go running towards his waswasa and we go crawling towards the tawfiq of Allah? And it brings me to my discussion. And the reason why we do that, or I do that sometimes, is because I see myself as Shaitan sees me. Nothing but jism. I don't see myself as Allah sees me. The potential to be great, to be the Khalifa of Allah. When He quiets the angels, right? Inni a'lamu ma la ta'lamun. You don't know what I know. That's Him announcing, God announcing to the angels that you're right. There is an element of the insan that does fitna, fasad, corruption, tyranny, khun, rizi, bloodshed. We see it everywhere. We see it in Kashmir, Bahrain, Palestine, Yemen, everywhere today. Right? That is inside the insan, no doubt. But there's another dimension of the insan that you're not aware of, that I'm hoping that they will tap into. Discussion on dualism is the idea that sometimes we believe that yes, we're spirit and body, but we're two different entities. They're not interconnected. There's a real problem nowadays across every community when it comes to our youth, especially our millennials, 15 to about 30. And this whole basis now has begun from where? From the Christian church. So the churches, the synagogues, and the masajid all have the exact same problem right now. And the problem is that they have youth that are spiritual but not religious. There's a whole group out there, SBNR. Spiritual but not religious. Meaning what? I believe in a higher power, Mulana. I believe in Allah, but I don't believe in organized religion. Why do I have to pray 5 times a day? Why can't I meditate? Why do I have to do wudu a little bit above my elbow? Right? Why must I, for example, I don't know, wear my hijab from my hairline and not from a little bit where my bangs show? Why do I have to now give this percentage to my khums? Those who have been to Hajj, you know how intricate the details of the deen are. You go to Muzdalifah to get your stones for shaitan, the stone has to be a certain size. So you see these grown men looking at their stones saying, no, too big, too flat, too round. You're picking stones, Baba, what's the big deal? No, the deen says. So they adopt the debate that, look, I'm a nice person, Malana. Haven't wronged my family, haven't murdered anybody, I'm good with my mom and my dad, I take care of my family, I don't see God, what? Punishing me. But yeah, I don't pray salat, I don't fast in Ramadan, don't give my khums, don't go for Hajj. That's organized religion, but I believe in God for sure. I'm a good person. The good person debate is a huge phenomenon right now across the board. Our kids are not believing in the impact of organized religion, because they don't believe the ups and downs of the physical salat or the starving of the physical fast has any impact on my soul. How does it help me if I go up and down 17 times a day? Which means what? They understand I have a body, I have a soul, yes, but they're not dependent of each other. They're independent of each other. It's a problem. It's a problem. That means that you see yourself as jism or as spirit, and either one is incorrect. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. So across these next 3-4 nights that I'm with you, 4 or 5 nights that I'm with you, inshallah, we'll look at this topic of the comprehensive nature of the soul and the body. How our body affects our soul, how our soul affects our body. Because sometimes the way we treat our bodies, we don't understand that that body is a gateway to our soul. Okay, whether I cover my body, Mulana, or not, right? This whole hijab debate nowadays, that modesty now can be defined in a different way in 2019. I don't have to cover my hair to be a modest dresser. Okay, a debate that my sisters can't stand. Right now they're cringing. Or this idea that, like why, if the hijab if the Sharia came down in 2019, hijab wouldn't be wajib nowadays. It was for the Jahil women of Arabia, not of today. How many times have I had that debate with my sisters? All that shows the fact that they believe in a spirit, they don't believe in organized religion. And the problem is that the church, the synagogue, the masjid, all what? These are all symbols and these are all avenues of organized religion. So you won't see the youth in our centers on Thursday nights. You won't see the youth in our churches right now. The numbers are staggering. They're staggering. The fastest growing religion in North America is no religion at all. We don't affiliate to any religion, but we're spiritual. Part of it is a cop-out, I'm sorry. Part of it is the fact that, look, can you imagine now having the best of both worlds? You don't wake up for Fajr, you don't fast in the summertime, you don't give your 20%, you don't go for Hajj in that very difficult heat and Saudi government and that very physically demanding act of worship of Hajj. But, La ilaha illallah, I believe in Allah. And there's reasons that we'll explore in the next 4 or 5 nights. But I want to give one example and then move towards Masayib. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad, please. Because I think my elders have realized, but you have to again be reminded, is that you come from a generation where the doors of question weren't open for all of you. They weren't, I'm sorry. My father marhum tells me in Karachi that, if I had a question for an alim after a majlis, we didn't have the himmah to ask that alim a question. Are you kidding me? If I came to alim after the majlis and asked him a question, he would say, which one is your father? Bring him to me. And the alim would yell at me, and then at home I'd get chappal again at home by my father. All because I asked him one question. This generation is different. They'll stop you anywhere. They'll stop you in the masjid, they'll stop you at Costco, they'll stop you anywhere, ask you a question. That's how it should be. So gone are the days where it's just do it and you'll understand. We have to give them a little bit of understanding of what they're doing and why they're doing it. Now granted, and I'll address this in the future, granted, a lot of it is the fact that sometimes you have to do it to understand why you're doing it. That's the part that sometimes my youth don't understand. I've sat there in Tim Hortons, okay, double after double, having a discussion about God and about Salat and about Ghadir. 3-4 hours, 3-4 hours. I'm an old man, my beard is white, leave me alone, man. No, 3-4 hours, right? Proving to them this hadith, that verse, this logic, that aql. After 3 or 4 hours, they'll tell me, 16-year-old will tell me, Malana, I'll think about it and get back to you. Huh? MashaAllah. And it's a little bit of ghurur. I love my youth. You guys know I love you. Wherever I go, I talk about you guys. But this ghurur, takabbur, ego, convince me, Maulana, and then I will follow religion. Wait a second now. Your aql is limited, and you're trying to understand the unlimited. There's bound to be some disconnect sometimes. Sometimes you have to walk through the worship to know the reality of that worship. There's a video floating around sometimes on WhatsApp, and I wish these were shared more than other fitna videos. But khair, Ayatollah Bahajat, rahmatullah alayhi, may Allah, increase his darajat. He was an arif, as many of you know. And many times people would ask him for advice, Agha, about this, about that. He would give the most simplest advice. One thing was about salat. It's amazing. I mentioned this in Al-Mahdi last week. This blew my mind, really did. Somebody asked him, Agha, if it's between me praying on time, awwal waqt, or me praying when my heart is ready to pray for God, which one should I do? Now if it was me, I'd think, okay, wait till your heart's ready, then go pray. He says, no, pray awwal waqt, on time. 6:04, 1:08, 9:13. He says, don't worry for the, don't wait for the aha moment, for this, all of a sudden you have this irfani moment where, mi'raj and you're flying towards Allah. No, don't wait for that. That may never happen. Even if during that salat 1,000 thoughts are on your head, go through the motions. Eventually now you'll train yourself to understand the beauty of that salat. And then the mi'raj starts. I just flew from Toronto to Calgary. I landed about 2 hours ago. That's why I sound like this. I'm tired. I'm an old man. It's 11 p.m. where I come from right now. Okay? But the plane didn't start off in the air. It backed away from the gate, went down the runway, gained some speed, elevated, then reached elevation. Then the seatbelt sign went off. Then it cruised. We as well, we're looking for that elevation right off the bat. No, sometimes you need to back off from the gate, man. Taxi the runway, get up, and then get to your altitude. Sometimes you go through the motions to get the plane in the air. Doesn't start off in the air. We have to understand this. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. One story in the Masab. You've been very patient with me. In the house in Qom, we would learn Farsi. For 6-7 months, they teach you Farsi, how to talk and speak and write and everything. And you would go through a series of books. And after about the second or third book, they would include small little stories. Okay? Good, feel-good stories. You would learn Farsi, you'd also get a good lesson as well. There's one story I remember, when I learned Farsi now, it's been over 15 years ago now, of a father who approaches his son. And please, understand where I'm coming from. I don't go away after the majlis. I sit here doing matam, I sit here after ziyad, I have a chai, everything, please. You have questions, come and ask me. Don't discuss in your WhatsApp groups. Come and find me. You can't miss this. It's really hard to miss. Okay, 6'4", I wear black, you can't miss me. The father approaches the son and says to his son that if I give you 50,000 tumans, every morning you come to my door, you collect the money, and you go pray namaz al-shab. Okay? It sounds like a lot. 50,000 tumans isn't a lot of money. But for Iran it is. So he said, deal. No problem. Offer your child $100 for every namaz. Watch how he prays, mashallah. Every morning now before Fajr for months he would come knock on his door. Baba, thank you, Allahu Akbar. Baba, thank you, Allahu Akbar. Baba, thank you, Allahu Akbar. One day they say that there was no knock on the door. And the father says, oh, so gaya bacha. Didn't wake up. He goes to wake him up, and underneath his door the light is on. Opens the door, he's praying namaz al-shab. After namaz, he says to his son, you didn't come and collect your money. He says, Baba, I now realize that what I've been gaining from namaz al-shab is far more than your 50,000 tumans. But it took months of him doing that to get to that realization. It's okay to dangle a candy in front of your child. God does it, right? God says, I'll give you bihish, I'll give you jannat, I'll give you, milk and meat and hoodies. What do you want? Whatever you want, you can have. Just come and worship me. But eventually you have to get to that level where the hell and the heaven are removed. You worship Allah because He's layiq of worship. He is the ultimate ma'bud. Right? So sometimes it takes the idea of actually me going through the worship to understand the beauty of it. Not that, oh, bachara maula asar is, thak gaye, bol ke 3 ghante, 4 ghante jo hai, ye dalil, wo dalil, ye dalil, wo dalil, and then I'll think about it. Right? At 16 years old, I felt like but I couldn't. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Sometimes the chappal is really important, I tell you. Khair. Oh, those days are gone. It's important that we understand this, that we are body, we are soul. They're interconnected, interdependent. And I'll explain as the nights go on. Because when you look at the tragedy of Karbala, there's a physical dimension, there's a spiritual dimension. It's incredible to me. I just find that it just seemed like the more Imam Hussain sacrificed for Allah, the more he was sukoon and content. Meaning, if Allah had asked him for 10 more Ali Asghars, he would have gave him 10 more Ali Asghars. That's how it felt like to me, at least. Imagine now he's standing there with his 6-month-old Ali Asghar in his hands, walking towards Rabab, not knowing how to tell the mother of the 6-month-old that you asked me to take your son for water. He comes back lifeless. And the only statement out of Imam Hussein's mouth is Radan biqada'ihi. I am Radi with you. It wasn't him. Imam Hussain didn't stop. It was Allah himself that said, Irji'i ila rabbiki radiyatan maradiyah. Meaning what? Bas Hussain. That's enough, Hussain. Now come back to me. You are Radi with me. I am Radi with you. And the same Hussain covered from head to toe in scars. Zakham upon zakham, blood upon blood. His back is bent. His eyes are almost gone. Everything. But his spirit is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's one thing where you have that, but now to give that to your family is incredible. That sense of sacrifice is incredible. The Ahl Haram now, the days of Arba'een are over. They're making their way back to their Watan in Medina. They spent 3 days there in Karbala. When Yazid announced to Imam Sajjad that I'm giving you freedom now, I'm going to escort you back, there comes a moment where now the path one path goes towards Medina, one goes towards Karbala. Which way do you want to go? Imam Sajjad goes to Bibi Zainab. Says, Papi Amma, he's asking me, which way do I want to go? We go back to Medina, we go back to Karbala. You would think for a moment, had everything that Zainab saw in Karbala, she would avoid Karbala. Within seconds, she said, Sajjad, take me back to Karbala. The Qafla is ready to go back to Karbala, now leaving the Zindan of Sham. Everybody is there. Zainab searches, where is Rabab? I don't see Rabab. Rabab is sitting there at the grave of Sakina. Sakina. The Qafla reaches the land of Karbala. Jabir is there. Sukoon, Itminan, content. Part of it, I'm very embarrassed and sharminda in front of you. Why, Zainab? I am content because for the first time in many, many days, I can cry for you where anybody is stopping you. But why are you sharminda, Zainab? Because of Asri Ashur. Bhaiya. سيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون. ماتم يا حسين يا حسين
يا حسين يا حسين يا حسين يا حسين يا حسين يا حسين يا حسين يا حسين يا حسين يا حسين يا حسين يا حسين يا حسين
Could I start?
يا حسين يا حسين يا حسين
لبيك يا مولا حسين لبيك يا حسين 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 لبيك يا مولا حسين لبيك يا حسين. Call us to you, O my master Hussaina. Wallah zara manin sa Hussaina. Call us to you, O my master Hussaina. Wallah zara manin sa Hussaina. We have only one wish to visit Karbala. People come to this land to visit Abu Abdullah. I only wish to be your servant, Mawla. I want to be the one to be your soldier. I will not forget the day of Ashura until our last breath. Wallah Zahra, we will not forget. Wallah Zahra, you will always be remembered, Hussaina. Wallah zara marin sa Hussaina. Call us to you, O my master Hussaina. Wallah zara marin sa Hussaina. So many people walk from so far, from Najaf to Karbala, they're shining like the stars. This is my only dream, that there will come a day when everyone will say, Karbala is away, my life is for him, no one will take away. This is my promise, Wallah Zahra, you will always be remembered, Hussaina. Wallah zara marin sa Hussaina. Call us to you, O my master Hussaina. Wallah zara marin sa Hussaina. Your name is called by each and every nation, each and every nation, each and every nation. We teach this to our future generation. Future generation, future generation, we will keep alive your dedication. We will learn from your strength and patience. Your flag is flying high as inspiration. We know that we are blessed, Wallah Zahra, when holding your flag, Wallah Zahra, you will always be remembered, Hussaina. Wallah Zahra manin sa Hussaina. Call us to you, O my master Hussaina. Wallah Zahra manin sa Hussaina. When we come, we sit beside your shrine. We forget all the sorrows in our mind. We only think about the day of Ashura as you were laying there. No helpers nearby, your sister saw your pain and cried. our only mission. Wallah Zahra, to tell everyone, Wallah Zahra, you will always be remembered, Hussaina. Wallah Zahra manin sa Hussaina, labbaika ya Mawla Hussaina, labbaika ya Hussain, manin sa Hussaina, manin sa Hussaina, ya Hussain.
امام یا حسن یا حسین مولا حق امام یا حسن یا حسین مولا حق امام یا حسن یا حسین مولا حق امام یا حسن یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین شبیر کی وہ لاڈلی شبیر کی وہ لاڈلی سینے پہ جو شیخ پلی جس کی آباد من میں جلی جس کی آباد من میں جلی منہ پر تماچوں کے نشان مولا حق امام یا حسن یا حسین مولا حق یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین
پر محمد والے محمد بلند تر صلوات.
السلام علیکم یا نبی اللہ السلام علیکم یا رسول اللہ السلام علیکم یا امیر المومنین السلام علیکم یا فاطمہ الزہرا سیدۃ نساء العالمین السلام علیکم یا ابا محمد الحسن السلام علیکم یا ابا عبداللہ الحسین وعلى اولاد الحسین وعلى اصحاب الحسین وعلى انصار الحسین السلام علیکم یا اہل بیت النبوہ ومعدن الرسالہ جميعا ورحمۃ اللہ وبرکاتہ السلام علیکم یا مولانا والحسن علی بن موسیٰ الرضا الراضی بالقدر والقضاء السلام علیکم یا معین الضعفاء والفقراء السلام علیکم یا مغیث الشیعۃ والزوار فی یوم الجزاء السلام علی آبائک السبعۃ وعلی ابنائک الاربعہ السلام علیکم ورحمۃ اللہ وبرکاتہ السلام علیکم یا مولانا صاحب العصر والزمان الامان من فتنة الزمان السلام علیکم یا شریک القرآن السلام علیکم یا مظہر الایمان السلام علیکم یا قامی الکفر والطغیان السلام علیکم یا دافع الظلم والعدوان السلام علیکم یا امام زماننا هذا عجل اللہ تعالی فرجک وصح اللہ تعالی مخرجک وظہورک وجعلنا من انصارک وآوانک ورحمت اللہ وبرکاتہ اللہم
Mu'mineen will be having a question and answer session starting in approximately 5 minutes. So in 5 minutes, can everyone please get gathered over here for a question and answer session? Thank you.
Inshallah, we will start the Q&A session at 9:40. You will see the password and Wi-Fi username and password on the screen, and you can use your phones. And there will be as well, you have to go to the menti.com website, and there's a code to enter. Then you can submit your questions, and Maulana will go get those questions. It will be anonymous, so everybody can send their questions directly to Maulana. They can start sending questions now, so Maulana have all these questions in hand before he sits. We can start in 3-4 minutes. Everyone is requested to come inside the main hall, please, and keep your... Ajao, Hamza. पानी की बोतल लगा इधर रखी थी मैंने इसकी तो जरूरत ही नहीं है इस पे आएंगे ना हाँ Yes, what do you want? No, please go there. For Maulana. आपको क्वेश्चन भेजो आंसर नहीं दे दो चाय खुदा के लिए क्या करना है बस इसको रेडी रखो चार्जिंग is it charging now मैं इसको बताऊंगा Inshallah, in 2 minutes, question and answer session will start. In 2 minutes.
Why did I pick that topic? My topics are based on Swiss constitutions.
Wa Muhammad wa ala Muhammad bulantar salawat.
Need the caller mic?
I'll use that mic if you don't mind. Yeah.
So we got
16?
around 16. You can even click on here, or you can just scroll down there to see the questions. You can even scroll down here.
صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. Inshallah, my sisters are listening, inshallah. I know that you have all the answers, but if you can just humor us, inshallah, that would be great. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So I have my own set of personal rules when it comes to Q&As. If I can make that clear to all of you, that would be great. Number one is that I always like to have the questions filtered, like I have now in front of me. Only because, in an environment that is like this, where there's multiple ages across the board, not every question is appropriate for this crowd. Number two is that, there are questions sometimes that are pertinent to the local community. And I have only been here for a couple hours. I don't know the details of the community. I don't know the situation with other centers or inside this center or the alim or this person or that person. So, those are not questions that you should ask me. I'm only here for 5 days and I'll be gone. So if you have asked a question and I have not answered it, know that that's only because I chose not to. You can, by all means, reach out to me over email. I'll be more than happy to answer your question. And then we'll go from there. So we're going to avoid questions from the crowd. And I think, Riaz Bhai Joseph, I think we kept the limit for an hour. So if everyone's okay, by 11 p.m. I think we'll be done. Is that all right with you, all of you guys? Yes? Inshallah. Okay. Let's recite a salawat, please. Allah Muhammad wa ala Muhammad, please. So the first question I have, you guys see it on the board? No, you don't. Okay, that's good. The first question I have is, why is singing haram in Islam? So let's go down the route of music a little bit, and then you'll find out by yourself why singing is haram, or ghina is haram. It's true that there are certain types of music that are therapeutical. It's true that not all types of music are haram. But the music that you guys want to listen to is haram. Let's keep it simple. Nobody here is blasting Beethoven in their car on the way to work, right? So let's be very honest. Mainstream music is haram across the board. The fatwas you find, or you may be able to find some marja somewhere, that's debatable. And there's reasons for that. I'll give you the criteria, and then ultimately the responsibility is up to you or to me to figure out sometimes if what I'm listening to is haram or not. Okay? The criteria of a type of music being haram is two. Number one is the actual music being used, and number two is the actual lyrics being used. Okay? So for example, the way that the fiqh defines the music being used, it's called lahwi music, which means music that you find in inappropriate gatherings. So club music, mainstream music, techno music, stuff that you might find, let's say, in parties, in bars, dances, those type of things. That type of music, and I'll let you kind of figure out what that type of music is. If that music is there in the song regardless of the lyrics, please follow me very carefully, then that particular song is not allowed to listen to. The second factor are lyrics. So it could be that there's no music attached to the song, but the lyrics are detrimental. They pull you away from God, let's say, or they promote behavior that is haram, for example. It could be a cappella. It could be instrumental. It could be somebody just doing, let's say, a freestyle rap, for example. Okay? If that rap is talking about the idea of this and that, and you know what topics there are, then even if there's no music attached to it, then there's a problem. So it could be, guys, again, could be that the music that's used is not appropriate, the lyrics are appropriate, that's a problem. Or there's no music at all, but the lyrics are inappropriate, that's also not allowed. Okay? So I'll give an example to my elders, okay? It's a tough example, I'm sorry, it's my responsibility. A lot of questions we get about qawalis, okay? Back in initially when Nusrat Ali used to do his qawalis, he used to praise Imam Ali. He has one for Karbala as well. And he would use the dhol, the tabla, the duff, I think you call it in English. And the duff or the tabla is not a problem in Islam. It does not produce lahwi or vain or club music. So long as he was playing that instrument by himself with his own hands and pronouncing or reciting the fadail of Imam Ali and Karbala and Imam Hussain, which is and Allah, of course, there's nothing wrong with it. What he used to do near the end of his life was he would get Hollywood composers, right, to come in, like Eric Clapton and other individuals who were Hollywood composers, add their little saxophone and their music and all that, and then begin his, the Maskalandar, for example. That becomes problematic. The words are the same, but now the music is no longer the tabla, it's actually electrical instruments. So I hope you get the idea. There are even some nohas, that are to the tune of a Bollywood song. Right? And I mean, I'm not one to say this noha, that noha is haram, but that type of thing is detrimental. So singing kind of promotes that act into that genre of music, inshallah. I'll go very quickly. There's 35 questions here right now so far. I'm sure more will be coming. Mark has answered, yes. Sorry, this is a three-part question, mashallah. Okay. The question is that Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam teaches us to have patience. Imam Ali alayhi salam was forgiving, never cursed his enemies, not even Ibn Muljim. Bibi Zainab saw nothing but beauty. When asked by Yazid, today the Shias are portrayed as a faith that's based on bloodshed, violence, and rage. My question is, why are Imam Ali's followers known for that? So, it's a good question. It's a lengthy discussion. I think a lot of it is the tactic of the enemy themselves. Because what used to be a war, is this being recorded? Or live feed? Live feed? Okay. Yeah, can you stop the live feed? You can at least record, but no live feed, please.